Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another live stream. Um, we do have some Instagram posts. Sorry, I'm like trying to think of all the things I have to say because we do have some Instagram posts, some Reddit posts, some YouTube videos, and I have an actual poll ready today. A little fun poll to throw here in the beginning for all the regular schmegulas stopping in. Let me actually, before I put that live, let me make sure I post these as well in the Discords. I'm thinking of maybe doing, because I have a members only Discord right now, but I'm thinking of maybe making it public at some point, but having members only channels. That'd probably be the best way to do it. But right now, it's just like a means of sending me stuff that could be content related. You know, the works. But thank you all for stopping in. I really do appreciate it. Let me put up this poll that I have ready. It is pick your techno augmentation. Do you choose? If it'll go live. Okay, there we go. Translation implant, voluntary temperature control, binocular eyes, or Swiss Army hand. Basically, translation implant, a little implant in your head where you can understand all languages, known and unknown. You could go to um, some remote island and speak some language. Voluntary temperature control goes out to all the people that are a little too cold or a little too hot, might get a little sweaty sometimes. Binocular eyes are pretty self-explanatory. You can see far. I really didn't define the limitations there, but it kind of makes sense. It's not a telescope; it's binoculars. So there's something there. And then Swiss Army hand. I kind of just thought this is kind of in the sense of you need any kind of tool, you can just use your fingers, you can use your hand. You need a hammer, just give it a good little fist, a little pounding. You need a screwdriver, you can give a little twisty twist. You need to pull it out, use two of your fingers. It all works out. A saw maybe, I don't know how you make that work, but we'd figure it out. Karate chop. Okay. But yeah, we'll leave that up for just a minute, just a little poll for everybody. Can I speak with my guinea pigs? Why not? Sure. I think that could make sense. You can speak to animals, but we have to remember like how much do animals really have to say? They probably are just going all day like I'm hungry. This is fun. And that's cool to hear, but it's not necessarily like a super helpful. I guess it could be. They go, I'm sick. You go, oh, now I understand. Your guinea pig go. Are guinea pigs the ones that like die in crazy ways, or is that hamsters? Is that all small rodents? Oh wait, forget it. I want to talk to animals. Sorry guys, you already chose. Too quick. You weren't asking the pertinent questions. Yeah, feed me. Leave me alone. And you're like, "Aw, but you're cute though." You're like trying to pet them. Leave me alone. Go away. That's when it'd make you sad. All of a sudden, your pets start going, "I don't like it here," just because they just are feeling some type of way in the moment. We don't know what pets are thinking. Sorry, but I like Denim's content. I think she's so pretty. Okay. I mean, I guess that's a reason, right? At least you have a reason. Can't argue with that one. I got to be honest. There is a saying something like, "If a lion could speak English, you still wouldn't understand him." I've never heard that saying, but that's kind of the point. I mean, is like you think even if you could talk to lions, that we'd somehow be able to not get eaten by them. Um, I forget what that one. I can't remember what the one I can't remember what the island is. What's it called? Yeah, North Sentinel Island. That's what I was trying to think of. And obviously, we've kind of fucked up our communications with the North Sentinel. I don't. Are they just? I don't remember what they say. The Sentinelese or Sentinelese? I don't remember. I just had it pulled up, but I didn't care to look. I guess North Sentinel. But in the same way, like we've kind of fucked over the animal kingdom a lot. So who knows what they think of us? Maybe that's why my cat bites me. Um. Yeah, the Sentinelese. I knew it. My cat loves me and he still chomps me. I'll never understand that, man. He just my cat just gets too worked up. He's not neutered. So you can kind of, it kind of makes sense. He just gets a little too amped sometimes. He's trying to uh assert dominance, but no, no, no. Oh, thank you so much, Rum Tum Tugger. Sent one Captain Quasar gifted membership.
Yay! I got a subscriber.
Let's go. W Tugger. Let's get into it now. We have some Instagram posts to start. This one goes out to you, Tugger. This is how it's gonna be now. Since I got so many members now, this is how I'm gonna be eaten now. I'm this one with the crazy hair. Which one are you? Type in the chat or comment down below. I finally got my comments straightened. I don't know why I think my thing was glitched because it was set to on where the comments were supposed to be showing, but then I set them to off and reset them, and I think that my comments are working now. So fingers crossed that I don't jinx it. But comment down below, which dog are you? We love some good memes. Not too many today. This one I can't play the audio because there's music, but I want to get this game. I feel like you could just make it on your own if you really wanted to. But like I like pool. I don't understand what the rules are right now, but I'm willing to learn. There was a point I made in a previous stream that we need more sports, and I think this is included. It's like beer pong, but with pool. We're not going to watch the whole thing. Just in silence, sit here. Yes. Taking it in. I think we need less sports. You would say that, Alex. Go get on your. Why don't you go get on your little treadmill? We probably need. Here's the thing. We need less organized sports, but we need more sports. Like every town that you go into, they shouldn't be playing baseball. They should have their own little unique sport that they only play in that town. Go sports, go. Go sports, go. I'd like sports more if they were a little weird. That's what I'm saying. Make it more fun. Dagestani basketball is a good example. It's definitely not for everybody. I don't think I'd want to play. But they literally just run around and like throw each other to the ground. Where's the mute? There we go. crushing it. But no, we just need more weird stuff. Do that, but like the whole time you have to try and solve a Rubik's Cube. And if you solve a Rubik's Cube in that time, you get an extra point for your team or something. Just add in obscure rules. If you wear blue shoes on a game, on a match that's held on a Tuesday, then your team wins. People really pay attention. They actually read the rule book. They'd know. But if both teams have somebody wearing blue shoes, game on. I'm a pro cup stacking athlete. Now that's a sport. Athletics, you must be a true athletic specimen to be a pro cup stacking champion. Also a professional cool guy. And a professional tough guy, or is that just a pastime? This was terrifying to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody that has to see this. This is actually horrifying. Scary, scary. Turn away, avert your eyes, to mute it. Don't turn off the stream, please. I need the retention. I'm packing this thing up to ship it to its new home. I pulled off the AC power cord, and this SOB gotta go and pull this bullshit on me.
This isn't concerning at all. I unplugged the chimp head. This is the plug for the chimp head. And the chimp...
I think it was a dog in the background. Dog's growling at it.
Head? Yeah. Oh, fuck you, man. No. I hate this fucking thing. Goodbye. This isn't concerning at all. I unplugged the chimp head. This is the plug for the chimp head. And the chimp head? Yeah.
Or maybe that is the chimp. Because it almost sounds like it's going like, ooh, 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 like making like a... It's possessed by an ape.
Oh, fuck you, man.
I do like that. He was a little too angry at it. Like, it's okay, bro. It's fine.
No. I hate this fucking thing. Goodbye.
What would I imagine Zuzu looking like? This next one. Here's one that I found a little interesting. I might have to follow this account. The story behind the car. Need to become a car guy because this is the knowledge that we all must have. This Nash was advertised as a car fathers wouldn't want their daughters dating. That doesn't... You could have phrased this better. I wouldn't want my daughter dating any car. Seats fold down into a bed. Sleep in your car, save money.
This is why the car was advertised that most fathers would not let their daughters date a man that had a Nash.
Yeah.
Because these seats folded down, and this was a factory option that the seats on both sides folded down into a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did I read somewhere that they called it a businessman special that you could try?
My cat left the room as soon as the vid started playing. He sent something malevolent. I know you're talking about this, but I like the idea that you're talking about this. Something malevolent here. I don't like it. You know, this is kind of like a elite, though, because think about it. You know, you can just crawl into the back. Like, they're driving, and you can just say, fuck it. Just crawl into the back. Do whatever you want. So much room for activities. You know, let that be wherever your mind takes you.
Travel on the road and...
Well, it wasn't exactly a business. They called it a family special because the actual literature that I have for the car shows a family sleeping in the car.
Yeah.
Both sides down. You could get fitted sheets. You could get bug screens for the windows. You could get Nash pillows. And you could sleep. And they actually advertised, don't waste money on a hotel or motel.
Yeah.
Sleep in your Nash. And that's, they advertised it to save money.
I understand the like the advertising prospect of being like, this car is so luxurious, it's better than a low budget hotel room. I could understand that marketing angle, but the statement of don't get a hotel, just sleep in your car is like a little crazy coming from a dealership. You know, coming from a car manufacturer, you're like, I don't know. Might have to hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, or your Nash. Which sounds better?
Money.
Yeah.
This is why the car was advertised that most fathers would not let their daughters date a man.
If the windows are bulletproof, I'm in. That would be the one like necessary angle. I'd feel so unsafe. That's why you have to, if you're ever sleeping in your car, you really have to find the best spots. I feel like most of the time when you're sleeping in your car, it's probably better to sleep a bit during the day. Try and be up at night. You know? Because when you sleep during the day, there's like... There's still bad stuff going on. But you could definitely get away with it. But then you also risk just overheating in your car. Oh. And don't leave your pets in the car. One time, me and my friends tested to see how long we could stay inside of a hot car with the windows rolled up with no AC. Like in direct sunlight in like 100-degree weather. And you after like after like 5 minutes, you start going crazy. You start sweating profusely. After 30 minutes, though, the heat is immense.
And it had a Nash.
Yeah.
Because these seats folded down, and this was a factory option.
That car looks like it smells like Lucky Strikes. Well, this one looks used, so it might. Just a good old-fashioned stain. You know, it's a classic.
That the seats on both sides folded down into a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did I read somewhere that they called it a businessman special, that you could travel on the road and...
Well, it wasn't exactly a business. They called it a family special because the actual literature that I have for the car shows a family sleeping in the car.
Imagine your dad being such a cheapskate. He's like, "Nah, guys, look. You and your mom just went inside the gas station to get some snacks, and you're coming back out, and Dad's like, see, we don't need a hotel." He's laid in the back. He has it all laid down. He's like, see, it's perfect. Here, you guys get comfortable. I'm gonna pull around to a nice secluded area.
Yeah.
Both sides down. You could get fitted sheets. You could get bug screens for...
Like, it's one thing to have to. You know, I'm not gonna put anybody down for having to sleep in their car. Like I said, yeah, you know, it happens. But I'm thinking about the cheapskates that use this as their excuse to not get a hotel. I've seen some dads like that, trust me, and in my time, I've met a few fucking cheap-ass dads. Did y'all see that science has found out humans were making fire 350,000 years before we previously thought? No. I did not see. I'll look into that on the side. Have you seen this? I know a lot of people have been to the Renaissance festivals that are around, and usually they have jousting, and the jousting is pretty weak. You know, people knocking little shields off of each other's shoulders, basically. Like they're just extended off the side, and it's like point based. This is a full contact jousting, Knights of Valor. I don't know where this is, but I want to go. No, I've not seen this. Good counter, Captain. I know, right? This is a mind built for debate. But let's give it a little look. They're killing each other. They're fucking. No wonder this was the entertainment back in the day. Like, it makes so much sense now when you see it like this. I'm gonna run it back and then I'm gonna let it play for a bit before I make some more commentary. I think that guy got knocked out. I think he legitimately got knocked out. Like the way, okay, maybe not. I think he might just be trying to like you know, curl back up. It's just not working. Okay. I don't care to hear your guys' story. I've got to be completely honest.
I'm Tyler Beckley. I'm a member of the Knights of Valor. We're a full contact jousting team. I've been a member of the team for about 4 or 5 years now. I'm personally a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, a little bit of insanity helps, but you don't have to be completely crazy. Full contact jousting in this.
As they're doing the little like warm up, everybody in the crowd's just like, "Get to the show, kill each other." It's quite. It is quite insane, I have to say. I just want to see one more good one. I don't think anything can beat that first one. That first one was crazy. Oh, is this him right before his event?
I can move not too bad, and it's
Oh,
not
is she gonna
too
do it?
heavy.
Ryagashtik is actually one of the most brutal styles of jousting that was ever conceived.
Oh my god. I think that's the same clip from the start.
Too heavy.
You can't beat
Ryagashtik
it.
is actually one of the most brutal styles of jousting.
Look at that. You see it flex a little bit. You see it bend. And they literally just explode. Explain voluntary temp, your own or the weather. So it's an augmentation for your own body. So you can make yourself hotter or colder at will, and it would be like you you could also do it you could do it not just to make yourself like the perfect temperature. You could do it if like you're in a situation where you need to play sick or something and you want to make yourself you have a fever and you have like a light fever, but then you can bring your temperature back down, or you could like counteract a fever by turning your temperature down or something like that. You know, there's probably other benefits you could think of, but it is for your own temperature. But good question. Thank you for the $2, Rum Tum Tugger. Do they have bagged milk in Toronto? I've always wanted to see bagged milk. Bagged milk. I want to know too. Do they have bagged milk in Toronto? I know, I've heard that it's a Canadian thing, right? Delicious. School lunch. Yay, my school lunch. Oh look, you can share with a friend too. You can put 3 straws in because of the way they print this. Definitely have milk in Toronto. It's in all of Ontario. Oh, interesting. Do you know about the YouTuber Charlie Hilbert? Charlie Hilbert. I'm wondering if that's the guy I follow. Oh yeah, that is the guy I follow. Isn't this his real account? Yeah, yeah. This one, right? Because there's Charlie Hilbert editor movement, Charlie Hilbert too young to die, and then there's Childebert Rex Francorum. He's kind of a legend. I think I've showed some of his videos before. Let's see, how long ago did I show one of his videos? Oh, it might not be saved. I remember I showed a video on stream a while ago. He's kind of blown up since then. I kind of found him before he was popular, you know. The truth about socialism.
Today, let's talk about socialism. Or, let me talk about socialism.
I'm listening.
I'm not a socialist. I'm an anarchist. I don't believe in governments, organized religion, or any of that shit. I wish I was living right now in the 10th century in Iceland, where they didn't have governments or religion or any of that shit. They just had lots of weapons. There's one over there, but I don't want to dig it out right now.
This he's fucking awesome. I love this guy.
They just had lots of weapons, and each man took care of himself. All my Viking weapons are somewhere else, but
I'll send some on the Discord. I have a YouTube archive playlist I'm working on that I'll share eventually. I actually I've been building my own archives too. I have an archive playlist. I might make them public at some point, but I don't know if they're all. I don't know. Some of it I think is a little too out there. But we can also just watch it on stream, but I don't want it necessarily tied to my account fully. Because some of it's like interesting stuff, but some of it's like in my music playlist, it's a music archive of just different stuff that I've seen on YouTube, different weird songs and stuff. And I think on there I have a few Charles Manson songs, just because it is odd hearing like hearing like honestly how good of a musician he was. And that in contrast to just his insanity. But I definitely don't want Charles Manson tied to my account in any way. That feels a little odd. A little out there, if you ask me. But Childebert Rex Francorum. Let's hear you anarchist Viking.
anyway. So I in a way, I'm not really advocating socialism, but I am explaining it. Okay, the main thing about a socialist society is this: the workers. I'm going to underline this: the workers control the means of production. Right? That means that instead of some CEO giving himself a raise and fucking the workers, a council of workers gives themselves a raise. There is no CEO. The business is run by a council of workers. They decide everything. And if they want to decide...
Yeah, the real problem with socialism isn't necessarily like the theory. It is the scaling of like trying to scale up, because you can think of it in that context of the workers then raise their own wage, but then that only makes sense in the context of trading trading with other countries that work in capitalist societies to be able to garner some kind of wealth. Like you can't. It's hard to have like a purely socialist society that works internally only.
Tried to give themselves a raise, they give themselves a raise. Of course, they don't do this imprudently. I'm sure they examine.
With peace and love, I'm not surviving off fruit and dry ass corn. You know, it's like we got to find some kind of middle.
Facts and figures.
Name 3 Charles Manson songs. I could pull up the playlist. I think his songs actually are protected by copyright too, which is kind of crazy. I'm just gonna look them up and tell you. My Worlds, Look at Your Game, Girl, People Say I'm No Good, Cease to Exist, I think is the one I have on one of the playlists. Yeah, I'll play a Charles Manson song on next week's music stream. But here I am interested in hearing him talk about socialist theory. Charles Manson made some pretty good music, to be completely honest. And that's why it's such a shame, right? But I guess they do say like the best art is made by the people with the biggest issues. Something along those lines, I don't know.
But the thing is, in a socialist society, you, the worker, is in charge. Not some dumbass behind a desk, right? Well, you're right. You might be an assembly line worker doing one thing all day long, but then...
That's kind of I guess that's also the issue, though, is you think the bureaucracy fucks things up because they don't know what's happening with the assembly line worker. But the assembly line worker doesn't necessarily know the ins and outs of the work that's being put in by the engineers, or you know what I mean, or there's different aspects to work and to labor that might not be understood by individuals doing other parts of labor, and that's why it is a complicated issue. And that's why it's probably best to have just like socialist systems, you know, socialized systems, I guess is the best way to, the proper way to state it. Because otherwise, yeah, and plus the biggest issue is that someone's always going to try and overtake others, and that's why there's always some kind of fault in the system. Because everybody has power until somebody assumes more power. Yeah, hardship makes for great artists, but it's also most definitely not a prerequisite. Yeah, it doesn't always go hand in hand, but it does happen. We should all meet up in Captain Quasar's streams. It sounds like a plan. I sent his take on abortion. What? Let me see. Let me see.
Well, I lost 100 followers. I now only have 16,300 followers. But that's okay. Fuck them. They don't get to see my two-handed sword, then, do they? My two-handed, crisp-bladed sword. Yeah, fuck them.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, he does some cool ones, too. He's just a cool guy.
An abortion, but it's going to be, like, really quick. There's not much to say about it. But I don't want this to be a short, so I'm just going to play some blues guitar.
I don't think I think Club Penguin doesn't exist in its original form because it was like a Disney property. But I think it's Club Penguin rewritten. I think that still exists, right? Or is it called Club Penguin Legacy now? There's Club Penguin Legacy. Should I play that on my gaming stream? No one thinks about the people with hardships that have zero talent or creativity. What do we do for them? I guess they're the people that we're that we're working for, right? It's like we want to benefit everybody, even including the the least beneficial to, and I guess creativity isn't the only benefit to society. But I'm just saying, like, there are people that go through so much hardship, and then they're pieces of shit. And we're gonna actually talk about that in just a minute. I think we should get back on topic. We've kind of gone on a lot of tangents with these little goofs and gaffs here. A little lost in the sauce, if I do say so myself. These are his thoughts on abortion.
Okay, so there's a minute. Let me put this thing down. Okay, the subject of abortion.
Okay.
If you're a man, it's none of your fucking business. Let me repeat that. If you are a man, abortion is none of your fucking business. End of fucking story.
I'd say it's true to a point, right? If you have a woman and a man in a room, and the woman is advocating against abortion, and the making it illegal, you would kind of want the guy to advocate in favor of abortion and legalization of abortion. Pretty based though. Based guy.
Based?
I think that the main thing is as a man, understand that the topic of abortion will never truly affect you as much as it affects women, and so your understanding of abortion should be nuanced. I understand it's just a funny video. It's just funny because he plays a full minute beforehand, so it doesn't automatically turn into a short because he doesn't know how to not make it a short. I never thought about that. That's his whole reasoning, is he just doesn't want it to act. Is that what he said in the beginning? I was reading through chat. Yeah, I think he means it's a personal choice and shouldn't be up to old men in government that should retire, obviously. I think that's definitely the sentiment, because it's always men arguing. I mean, even in terms of like for or against, it's like at the end of the day, it becomes men arguing about it, which is unhelpful in the long term. That is what he said in the beginning, yeah. But yes, good take on Socialist 2, Unk. My favorite Unk. Oh, here, our last little goof and gaff, an alien body. A summary of Dr. Fung's preliminary paper on Sebastian. The Nazca mummy's autopsy CT scans have been released.
The Nazca mummy autopsy and CT scans have just been revealed, and what it shows is that their anatomy doesn't really fit in any textbook that we have on Earth.
No!
And if this was fake, the CT scans would reveal that. In 2025, a retired radiologist with over 40 years of experience performed a
Yo, look at this thing. This doesn't look human at all.
virtual autopsy on this body using...
Yo, no, wait, no, this skull actually does look kind of human, though. Interesting.
Using a hospital-grade CT imaging. No physical dissection, just thousands of X-ray slices and a lot of questions. The body was naturally dried, not artificially mummified. Inside, everything was connected. The bones, joints, soft
Mummy aliens are real?
tissue, even internal organs. More importantly, the scans showed biological responses to injury, bleeding, healing, and structural changes.
They were murdered.
This tells us this was once a living biological being. The first thing that people noticed, the hands. 3 fingers, 3 toes.
That isn't 1, 2, 3, 4. Humans have 5.
But here's the key, this isn't amputation or deformation. Each digit has full bones, joints, ligaments, and spacing that don't match known human anatomy. CT scans show the structure is in.
I know I've just been joking this whole time, but I mean, obviously there are some people that have different sets of fingers and different spacing between the, like, you can have different anomalies happening. But let's continue. Oh my god. Wait.
Totally consistent all the way down. The skull raises even more questions. There's no visible cranial sutures, they're fused. The eye sockets are large, widely spaced. There are no external ears and no external ear canals. And the opening where the spine meets the skull, called the foramen magnum, is shaped differently than in modern humans. Now here's the part.
They have the same skeleton, they have similar skeletal structure, but it's slightly different.
Even skeptics pause on. CT scans show metal implants, one over each shoulder and a collar-like implant behind the neck. But the critical detail, new bone has grown into the neck implant. This only happens if the implant was placed whilst the body was alive. The scans also reveal catastrophic injuries, a deep penetrating wound on the neck damaging the spine. There was a massive internal bleeding, collapsed lung, and partially collapsed heart. The radiologist concluded that the cause of death was
You think that's not real? Look at it. You're telling me these are fake? Look at this. Like, look at this. They're in a real laboratory.
Radiologist concluded
1
that the cause
and 2. There's 2 of them.
Was severe trauma and blood loss. The researchers say this body does not match any known human syndrome. They don't claim to know what it is, only that it doesn't fit what we currently understand. So the real question is, what is Sebastian? It's how many chapters of our past might be still missing. The scans still don't tell us exactly what this is, but just reminds us that this is a real being that walked among us at one time, and there's multiple of them and more keep being found in Peru. And it kind of reminds us that we don't really know as much as we like to think, and we're constantly being surprised and having to rewrite our story as a whole, mate. So I will keep you up to date, so stay tuned for part 2, mate. I will dive a little bit deeper, and you guys let me know what you think down.
Whoa. That is so real. Aliens are real. Bigfoot is real. Dogman is real. Frogman is real. Goatman is real. Mothman is real. Chupacabra is real. The Yeti is real. I already said Frogman, right? Okay. The Dover Demon. The Jersey Devil. I think those are the same thing. Whatever. Keep adding them on. The Loch Ness Monster. It's all real. This guy just said we don't know. So everything's real. He talks like Eevee. Well, that's how you know he's being authentic. That's how you know that he's telling the truth. Mothman is real. Okay, that one is real. The Kraken is real. Yes, Cthulhu is real. Dog Woman. God is a woman. Dogman is actually a woman. Dog Woman. Dinosaurs. Those are actually misinterpretations of the skeletal structures of giants. They just want you to think that it's dinosaurs. The next time you go to a museum and see a giant T-Rex skeleton, reconfigure it in your brain into a giant. The Nephilim are real. I've seen Bigfoot. You can all believe me. I do. I do. I do. I always have, and I always will. Because it's the truth. Giants are real. I know. Robert Wadlow. To say giants aren't real when this guy was fucking walking around. Like, okay, even if there weren't like 20 feet tall people, you know there was a guy that was probably like to this guy's shoulders in like ancient times. And then everybody was like, oh my god. Yep, 8 foot 11.1 inches. He was just short of 9 feet tall, the tallest man to ever live. Is there a clear picture of that, of him as a child? Here's him laid up in bed. This looks like it was taken at one of those optical illusion museums, you know what I mean? That's the second time I've heard Nephilim, the first being legal mindset. He's gone down his Christian arc, right? Seen this guy at the Wax Museum. I went to the Wax Museum because I learned about Robert Wadlow. Or sorry, not the Wax Museum. Ripley's Believe It or Not. They have the Ripley's Believe It or Not where he stands up. That one's fire. What a legend. What a champ. This was something interesting. All YouTube rewinds have been unlisted. I don't know why. It wasn't up to me. I don't know who told you that. But I went to check myself, and yes, they are all unlisted. I found a playlist of them, so I was like, it's not like they're difficult to find. These ones probably aren't. Yeah, these ones are all still up. Was the last one 2018? No, okay, it was. Let's hear it. I need to hear it real quick. Let's hear it. Yeah.
It's rewind time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I controlled rewind, I would want Fortnite and Marquez Brownlee.
And Marcus Brownlee. It's before it all went wrong. They have too many criminals in them. Is this the one where they say K-pop? It is.
Who is Marshmallow? How about Yodeling Kid?
No, wait, where is it? I need Casey Neistat saying K-pop. Is it in the beginning? Oh, it is. It's right here.
K-pop!
There we go. Marcus Brownlee. Yeah. How's my Will Smith impression? Yeah. Marcus Brownlee. Yeah, this was before the slap. Sad times. Oh, how the mighty fall. It was after he had like just joined. He was like, I'm a YouTuber now. And now, is he still a YouTuber? I guess you might be able to say that. He's a rapper again. The Fresh Prince is back. K-pop. K-pop. Yeah, years pre-slap. He was still riding high at the time. Yeah, that was the only thing people were making fun of him for. Yeah, it's the way he like rolls it. Yeah. What the fuck? Ew, I just opened stream on my phone and got an ad for Turning Point USA. Nah, they have been going a little hard with their advertisement. I've blocked them from my like getting advertisements from them, and they still somehow like have circumvented that. I don't know if they're using multiple like sites or something, and they're able to get different ads through that. It is really weird though. Oh, I missed Skunk Ape. Thank you. Got behind in the stream, but you missed Skunk Ape, the Florida version of Bigfoot. Skunk Ape is so popular too. How could I do that to him? The original, the OG. But now we're getting back into some the streamer awards drama. Sorry, I keep it's right here, but in my head I keep thinking streamy awards, and it's like I have to make sure I'm like correcting myself. So this guy Flats shares his experience at the Streamer Awards. I don't know who this guy is, but to be completely fair, it's the Streamer Awards. I don't think I need to know who he is. He's gained an audience. He is definitely bigger than me. I mean, I don't know who he is again, but I'm assuming he's probably bigger than me if he's going to the Streamer Awards. And so this story, I think, proves that it wasn't just a popularity contest. It was basically like, it was like the popular kids table at high school, in high school lunch. Like, that's basically the way it seems.
Like, for example, all the nominees are supposed to get like red carpet time, right? You're supposed to get like an interview. Like, that's one of the big things is like you get a red carpet interview because you're nominated for an award. Me, SK, and Bogart got like kicked because like they were like, yeah, we're behind. Sorry, like you're just gonna move on from you. And then somebody like a bigger like another streamer walked like.
Hey, I'm just checking his account now. I should have done this beforehand. He seems like a pretty sizable gaming streamer. Like, he's obviously not like or I guess I don't know too much about like gaming streamers on Twitch. So he might be towards the top, but he seems to be pulling pretty regular viewership and doing pretty well. He's got almost 1 million followers on Twitch. And then I saw he has a YouTube channel too. Sorry. Yeah, he's got almost 1 million on YouTube too. I do think it's weird because it's like, I mean, why invite people if you're not gonna like carve out the time to like, you know, make it make sense? Cut people off if anything. You deserve all the clout, Captain. Thanks. No fat shaman, Captain? What did I say? I would never fat shame. Who would have thought someone like Cutie would put on a bitchy event? Color me shocked. He chill. Yes, he plays Rivals and other games. Yeah, he seems like a pretty sizable creator. And yeah, I think that just kind of goes to show that they do seem to have like their list of the priority event goers that they want to kind of highlight.
Move on from you.
It was a joke. I should have put it as. I'm sorry, I take everything too seriously. I don't want to. Oh no, I don't want to fat shame people. What did I do? I just called him Fats to start. I was like, oh fuck. It was a fucking. I misspoke. I swear. Never. I would never do that. That almost sounded ironic, but I would never do that.
Sorry, like where you were just gonna move on from you, and then somebody.
You said he is bigger than me. I was memeing. Oh, you were making the fat joke. Shame, shame. Just kidding. Yeah. See, he needs that platform more than Cutie's friends. He's already doing good for himself. A big boost for his name. No, exactly. I think that's kind of like that should be the point, especially when I don't know if he won, but you would assume there's going to be quite a few smaller streamers there that really don't even have the potential to actually win any of the events. So having like the publicity of being like on the red carpet, having their moment, like to talk, just to like do a few little funny lines. It doesn't even really matter what it is, because even if it's funny, if it's interesting, people will just go, "Oh, who is that?" We were already invested in the streamer awards, and now I'm seeing other people that I've never seen before.
Like a bigger, like another streamer walked like right around us and just went up, and they just did the interview, and I was like, okay, all right, fair enough, I guess. So like, I don't know. I think that if I hadn't won, I would have definitely felt a little.
Okay, so he did win. He just said right there. Yeah. So if he didn't win, well, but to be fair, I think that makes it kind of worse, doesn't it? Then why wasn't he a priority? Sorry, I watched this clip last night when I was putting this stream stuff together. I forgot that he literally said that he did win. But that makes it worse, because why wouldn't he then be a priority for the event? It's like, oh, it's one of the people who's going to win. Let's get a statement from him so we have a clip for afterwards.
A little bit more jaded. Because, and if I was in like Boger's position, I feel like I would feel jaded, because you spend all this money to go and to be at the event, and then you kind of just get like kind of kicked to the side a little.
Got shafted. Straight up. Hello.
Because like obviously you're not like big 20,000 viewer streamer or one of the big IRL streamers. That sounds like production issues. It's production, but it's also whoever's managing that part of the event, right? So it's a management issue, whether it's on production or whoever's managing that section. I probably would never go again. Unless it was like for Variety Streamer of the Year or something like that. And there's a lot of reasons. I think the number one is it's very clear that it's no longer about gaming as much anymore.
It was about gaming? I mean, to be fair to the event, it is called the Streamer Awards, not the Gaming Awards or the Gaming Streamer Awards. So I could understand not wanting to go because it's not about gaming, but gaming isn't really the popular meta for streaming at the moment. IRL streaming is like the kind of the popular thing, and variety, just chatting style streams. But this was just kind of a lesser point that I do think it's interesting that like these other streamers do feel like they kind of, drew the short stick in a sense, took the time to come out and then didn't feel necessarily invited and don't want to return. But we're going to continue with some more pressing things. The stock guy talks about what Tylil wanted to do to Fan. So, trigger warning for this next segment, because this is just, it's kind of ridiculous and really dumb. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry, I had to make sure I had the right order. But I do think that it's necessary to talk about just because it's so, like, Dez's response is just absolutely ridiculous. But this is, the stock guy talks about what Tylil wanted to do to Fan. So this is again in response. Sorry. This is again in response to what Fan said about Kai Cenat. The most basic, stupid fucking, who cares? Like, it's not, she wasn't talking about his character. She wasn't saying, you act like Diddy. She said, you're a very successful guy, and you look like him. But this is just beyond the pale. Sorry, going back to the last topic. I get what he is saying. Gaming used to be a much more central to the streaming awards and streaming culture when it was 2021, or when it started 2021. Most were gaming related. They had an Elden Ring representative, come in and accept best streamed game in 2022. And I can understand that too, but I guess my point is you kind of have to get with the times in a sense, and you don't have to necessarily start doing IRL or other types of streaming. But trying to separate yourself purely for that reason, I would find to be a little bit like, I'd find that to be a nothing burger. But I think that the point that he brought up of them not even getting the time on the red carpet kind of just shows the priority goes to who's drawing in viewership in the moment. But yeah, I think his perspective is totally fair to not want to go again. As a wise man once said, never underestimate the power of a small dick. Big. I was trying to think of like a way to like frame this. So I was gonna use like because pissing contest is pissing contest is technically like the PG version of dick measuring contest. And I was gonna say the dudes yelling the loudest are always the ones with the, you know, you get what I'm saying. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about that. Rhett and Link. But the stock guy talks about what Ty Lil wanted to do to Fan. Okay, I'm sorry. Again, light. I guess not even light. Trigger warning for this because there are some crazy things that get said in this next part.
And I think that kind of like did it. Oh, true story. I don't know if I should tell you this or not. So I'm in the middle, right? And I see them down there, and I hear the guy take the mic about if you're gonna tell a joke, at least make it funny. I didn't even get the joke or whatever. And then we went to an intermission. I go down, you know, I go down to the bathroom. As I walk in the bathroom, I hear somebody come in and go, "Yo, fuck that bitch, man, fuck that bitch. I'll fucking toss that bitch. Well, I'll fucking knock her fucking teeth out. How's she gonna suck dick with no teeth, man? Fuck that bitch. Who the fuck she thinks she?" And I was like, "Oh my god." And then he started saying some shit about, I don't want to repeat it, about some things that are assault-wise that he's going to do. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, this guy really fucking, I thought it was a bit. And this dude's in the bathroom talking about he's going to straight up fucking beat the shit out of her and do some horrible things to her. And I was coming out of the bathroom and I was like, "Yo, man, are you okay?"
Did it again. Amazing. They probably just shouldn't be mentioning a prolific, depraved sex criminal in regards to the most popular streamer at your event. I agree, and I said this yesterday that it was definitely a stupid joke in poor taste and wasn't thought through when they were doing it. Because anybody that's not aware of like the ins and outs of the joke, it gets lost on and really does just look like he's comparing him to Diddy. But I don't think in any world is this the fucking response that you have to somebody making fun of your friend. Like crazy. And we'll get to his response because his response is actually the most like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Yes, audio, audio all the time. You missed me muted. Welcome back.
Like, you good? And he looked at me like this, and his friend goes, "Ah, man, he's just from New York." And then they both left. And I was like, normally it's none of my business and I don't get involved in it, but I'm thinking to myself, do I need to talk to somebody? Like, is this dude like just doing that? And then I realized we're also at a Stream Awards and his boys are around. So I'm like, I gotta keep an eye on this shit. Like, he'll probably cool down through the night, but this dude really lost his shit. Like, I thought it was a bit.
And again, this response in no way is like ever appropriate. Like, even in private, if my friend said some crazy shit like that to me in private, I'd be like, "Bro, you're talking fucking insane right now. Seriously, chill out." Like, what? Like, you're literally talking like an insane person, like someone that needs to be committed. But beyond that, just to kind of be like, I don't know, is that how people from New York are? Anybody from New York in chat? Is this what it's like in New York? JK just memeing. I'm just like, it's genuinely insane. And again, what I was going to say is, it's even crazier when it wasn't even about you. Like, it was about your friend. Like, bro. Like I'm saying, I wouldn't let anybody shit talk my friends. I would stand up for my friends if somebody's saying something, making a snide remark about them. But these are jokes on the internet. Jokes at an event. That's like, yeah, it was pushing the line. It was a little too far. Make a comment afterwards on stream being like, that shit was stupid. Why make a joke like that? He's the most popular person at this event and you're really going to compare him to Diddy. You could totally make a defensible argument on your stream afterward. But getting all pressed in the moment about some shit that wasn't even said to you, like, bro, grow a pair. Like, these guys want to act all tough and say all this tough shit, bro. Grow a pair. Like, come on.
But then in the bathroom, this dude's straight up talking about how he wants to fucking, like beat her up, like break her fucking teeth in, and then like, you know, obviously saying some shit, like talking about beating the shit, like actually physically beating her, and then moved on to like actual SA shit with her. And I'm like, dude, this dude is like taking this shit too far.
I think we got the gist of it. We got his claim of what he said. Apparently he's receiving death threats. We don't really need to watch this. Again, I don't know too much about this guy. It's terrible if this is happening, but again, I don't want to send more like stuff to him then if that's like the case. But those were the claims that he's making, and this is basically the response from Dez, the person that he said it was saying this shit. And this is just I'm sorry, after this we'll get into the H3 stuff. I do just want to try and make sure we're talking about some other things, because once we go on break, I'm gonna have to be feeding. We're gonna have to be looking for some other things. Yeah, insanely messed up and unhinged. Denims is her own biggest detractor, so true. But here's Dez denies the allegations against him made by the stock guy while at the Streamer Awards. So he denies the allegations while basically admitting to the allegations. Like, just watch. And again, trigger warning. Because again, he's saying, like, he basically just says the same shit over again.
Nigga, I've been this way since I'm Jake. I don't give a fuck what niggas think about me, gang. I'm in this shit because of my friend. Let's start there. Let's just start there. Y'all all dick ride my homie.
So he's saying, ever since I was young, I've been this way. What, you were saying crazy shit about knocking women's teeth out and shit? Like, what are you talking about? And then saying, I'm only in this because of my friend. He's talking about Kai Cenat.
All y'all.
And then saying everybody's dick riding Kai Cenat. Bro, you were dick riding him so hard that you started going ape shit in the bathroom, talking about what you were gonna do to the host. Talking about what you're gonna do to Fan, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
Everybody dick ride my homie. I wouldn't know nobody that streaming wasn't for my homie.
Yeah. Again, think about the logic here. You wouldn't know anybody if it wasn't for Kai Cenat. If it wasn't for your friend, you wouldn't know anybody. And somehow that's everybody else's problem? Like, yeah, cool. Maybe you should have stayed a nobody. I don't know what your point is.
Let's talk. Let's get right through it. I don't know.
I hate his soundboard. Let's counteract it.
Know your character. I don't know how I was raised, how I was brought up. But where I come from, we do not lie on people and destroy people's characters. I never threatened to hit nobody or women. I never said none of that. First of all, nigga said toss her around. Toss. The only toss I know is when we in the street at the churches, we toss back at niggas. Like, my niggas, my niggas toss that.
All right, bro. Like, we just dry snitching now. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you talking? Like, what are you talking about?
I'm not tossing nobody. especially a fucking female. If I toss anybody, a female is gonna be in the fucking bed. She'll get.
She's like, bro, you're a cornball. Like, come on. Like, this is so crazy.
Overly yarded. I'm not tossing nobody, gang. I'm not putting my hand on nobody over no fucking statement. We didn't get hands put on us. But what happened was, a person made a statement that was cruel, that was rude, that
he's like blasting. Let me turn it down just a little bit.
was inhumane. Y'all speaking on people's lives. Let's talk about, let's keep it real. Let's just keep it real. Diddy is fighting for his fucking life right now.
That low-key sounds like you're defending Diddy. Not gonna lie, bro, that low-key sounds like you're defending Diddy right now.
He's facing real charges over allegations of murders, sexual abuse, trafficking, drugs, shootings, all kinds of fuck shit. And y'all play with my mans. One of my mans who, okay, let's say it, put me on.
Cool, bro, yeah. That doesn't mean you need to pop off. Like, it's just so stupid.
My fucking friends who believed in my dream and believed that I had something deeper in me to show the world. Even though I'm not gonna feel a way about that shit.
Yeah, he's the reason men can't say female anymore. I mean, it is. Like, I know a lot of people. Like, I've known a lot of people that say female. And honestly, I've known some guys that do it that don't even try and do it disrespectfully. And every time I'm just kind of like, shit's lame. Shit's whack. Anytime somebody refers to a woman as a bitch, anyone's like, oh, this bitch. I go, you think they're a bitch? They go, no, that's not. No. Really makes them think. You catch them off guard for a second. Like, you're talking about their sister or something. Like, oh, I was talking to this bitch, and you're just like, you think your sister's a bitch? Are you really gonna say that? Just on the fly? But sorry, that's besides the point.
What happened was, baby, listen, I gotta go to the bathroom. I was in the bathroom and I say, yo, gang, she was dick riding my man Castanet. She sucked Kai dick. And I said verbatim to Ralphie. I said, bro, she sucked Kai dick with teeth. Bad bitches don't use teeth when they give in the sloppy toppy. The reason why I'm describing it like that, because you jumped out there.
And okay, so he's not admitting to saying he'd knock her teeth out. But how is what the fuck you said? How does that make any sense what you just said? Okay, explain it. He said, the reason I said it like that was.
And cracked a joke. Even if you read it off some shit, you should know, don't allow yourself to do something like that, because it's not a game. Diddy is, and you talk about it's not even that. Not even a Diddy joke. You said Diddy, and then you added documentary. So that means you were specifically on what you're saying. You're specifically trying to tear somebody's character down. What the fuck? Nobody said none of that about that lady, man. I got a fucking mother and sister too.
That literally doesn't mean anything. If anything, that just makes it way worse that you were saying something like that. Do you think what you just said was any better than if you said, oh, I would knock her teeth out or whatever? You think saying, like, come on, bro. What are you talking? Would you want somebody saying that about a joke your mom made or a joke your sister made? Saying, oh, she sucked his dick with teeth. Would you want somebody saying that shit about your sister or your mom? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, I respect women. Like, what the fuck are you trying to say? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Since I want to put their 1-2 sentences in. I got a mother and sister too that actually experienced shit y'all accusing me of. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? But I don't gotta.
Okay, who's accusing you of what? They're accusing you of statements that you made.
Put it out there because y'all.
You don't put it out there. You just did. Again.
Y'all don't know me. Nobody knows me, nigga. Y'all don't know what the fuck niggas go through in their lives, nigga. So don't ever put it on my character as a young man that actually come from poverty, nigga. Don't play with me, nigga. Y'all niggas in different tax brackets than me. I don't even make the amount of money y'all ever make, which I'm speaking on this guy right here.
I mean, you're telling me that you are a professional streamer now who's friends with the richest streamer in the world, and you're still at a lower tax bracket than everybody else? I don't believe you. I quite literally just do not believe you. Here, let's watch his chat for a second.
But I don't gotta put it out there because y'all don't know me. Nobody knows me, nigga. Y'all don't know what the fuck niggas go through.
It ain't crazy fast, but he's definitely got a decent following. How many followers does he have? Does Dez have? But I hate that too of like, you don't know me, you don't know what I've been through. Bro, you don't know what anybody else has been through either. I don't understand what the fuck, like, what is the point of this? Is this him? Oh, this is him. Yeah, 100,000 followers on Twitch. It's just like, bro. Yeah, and here's the thing. I think that it's a stupid thing to hide behind for multiple reasons, but that's also one of them. Because what the fuck does like your tax bracket have to do with what you said? Yeah, why does it matter? Like, I think that it's genuinely like, bro, you probably are at this point richer than most of the people that like talk shit about you or talk shit about Kai Cenat or whatever. But like, it's just so weird. Like, also, what does it matter? Also, how does he know that FanFan maybe what FanFan maybe goes through? No, that's the other part of it, because it's like you don't know literally what anybody else goes through. You don't know, what her upbringing was, or she's from. And again, she could be fucking a rich family, some nepo baby. I don't know, but neither do you. And that's kind of the point, is just making these assumptions and assuming that you've had it harder than everybody else, so you can just make these wild fucking statements and be like, I'm from New York. What? Well, I'm from New York. That's just what we say.
Lies, nigga. So don't ever put it on my character as a young man that actually come from poverty, nigga. Don't play with me, nigga. Y'all niggas in different tax brackets than me. I don't even make the amount of money y'all ever make, which I'm speaking on this guy right here. For what reason?
Well, I hope you know this, bro. I'm definitely making less money than you, so I'll keep talking shit. It's cool. So crazy. Here is a little statement. Oh, this one's kind of long. This one's kind of long, and I have to read the whole thing. You know what? I'm going to be back Friday. I think I'll skip this one for today. But this is why Trisha was blurred out of the show. Fellow reality TV show contestant talks about the Trisha drama. They might talk about this on the show, actually. So I'll leave this one. We'll move into the Denims stuff. Just to start it off, well, we got Denims, Taylor Lorenz stuff, and then back to Denims. Sorry. A little complicated today. Denim says you can moderate your chat, and your chat is a reflection of you as a streamer.
You can cope and see as much as you want. And again, yeah, there's limits. There's limits. You're not gonna be able to control every single message. But when you don't even try to correct them, when you don't even try to correct bad behavior, and then you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
And you do you care that your chat is calling me racist? Do you make any attempt to modify?
I have not looked at my chat.
Moderate that at all?
I have not looked at my chat at all.
And I'm fucking shocked that you don't care that people in your chat are saying, "Who the fuck is this child? Cold, arrogant."
And here's the thing: is this? It's a complicated conversation, because you could say, even if Denims is a fan of Hassan, that doesn't mean she needs to think that Hassan has to hold the same standards as her. That's fair. But I also think that she would say that it's not up to Hassan to moderate his chat. But also, to a degree, maybe she agrees with the stuff the chat's saying in this instance, so I don't know how much of that matters either.
And I love you, but there's only so much I can do.
I understand your analysis.
I don't want to. I don't.
Yeah, the cell phone strikes again.
To do. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Taylor responded to my post. Taylor, you're definitely of stock. Wait. Oh, your definition. God damn it. Taylor, your definition of stalker is untrustworthy. You cannot. Every time I mess up reading now, remember the way that I was taught. they put a paper over it, and I had to try and guess what the next words were going to be. I had to try and read ahead. It's made me a poor reader, I think. Taylor, the definition of stalker is untrustworthy. Your definition of stalker is untrustworthy. God damn it. You cannot call someone who sees you at a party as a stalker without having your usage of words being questioned. You had no trouble tweeting out the account in question's username, so surely you can point to who in this community is harassing you, or by harassment, do you mean criticism? And so I'm going to read the original post that they made, because I was interested in what this actually said. Correcting the record about Taylor's stalker's involvement in this community. For 5 months, Taylor Lorenz has been claiming that Ethan enabled her stalker and allowed them in this community. Telling her of the events is almost completely inaccurate. Her telling of the events, my God. What is wrong with me? Why can't I read? Do I need glasses? Do I need a new brain? Do I need the brain chip that Elon Musk has? I don't even remember what it's called now. That shit's so last year. Her telling of events is almost completely inaccurate. To the tiniest extent that it is true, it reveals an insane hypocrisy on Taylor's part. Here is the timeline of events. 4 years ago, account creates a Taylor Snark sub. Over its whole lifetime, the sub had about 60 posts total, all of which by this one user, save one. Nearly every single post sits at 1-2 points and 0 comments. 2 years ago, for the first time, a second account posts to Taylor Snark's sub. The post gets 2 points and the sub goes dormant. And then March 21st, 2025, account posts to the H3 sub for the first time. Commenter calls them out for just being involved in a different Snark sub and ratios them. Post is removed by mods for low quality. May 27th, 2025, account posts to the H3 sub calling Taylor a liar. The post doesn't seem to support that, and a commenter calls him out as the mod of a Taylor Snark sub in the comments. Ratios the post 33-26. Then in June 24th, 2025, I think I just got a package. Let me go get my package real quick. Sorry. Yay, my package is here. Yay! It spooked me. It was supposed to be coming way later today. I don't know. I guess it just came early. I'm not mad. It's the mob. They're here. It's Taylor Lorenz. It's her stalker. No! June 24th, 2025. Account posts to the H3 sub for the last time. They source the quartering and get called out and heavily downvoted. The post even includes a screenshot of Taylor calling out their username as her stalker. Other users call the account out for this. It appears this is when the account was banned from H3. Follow/up mod post I guess they just messed up the space here. Follow-up mod post confirms this. And then July 7th, 2025. Last post on Taylor's Snark sub, 1.0 comments. Taylor Lorenz is fast and loose with the word stalker to her own detriment. In reality, this account is a snarker. It's insanely hypocritical for her to see this behavior as stalking when she is constantly promoting, parroting, and participating in H3 Snark. Taylor claimed this account has hired photographers to stalk her and that she is working on getting a restraining order. Here is my claim. Taylor is lying about the details of her stalker. If she actually had evidence connecting this random Snark account to photographers creeping on her, there is a 0% chance she would not release it immediately. She is doxing random accounts just for making cough jokes. There is no way she would sit on information that could damage someone she thinks is harassing her. And then Ethan, I think, posted it on Instagram, maybe? Is that what this is? And then Ethan said, the stalker claim was always a malicious lie. This accused person had very little interaction with our subreddit and was already banned before she even told us about them. Taylor, where are the screenshots of all their unhinged comments being upvoted on our subreddit from your stalker? And then Ethan's Addicts posted this and said, misogynist Ethan Klein is now running defense for Taylor Loren's stalker via a post from Ethan's Snark subreddit. So that's not what happened at all. He's literally asking for evidence of the stalker's existence even. How is that running for defense of them? Of course, Ethan is lying again. My stalker has used a slew of different usernames posted in Ethan's sub many times before being banned on his public account. This was around when he also began showing up places IRL where he believed I'd be after Ethan named him on his IG story. Do you have a screenshot of that? In reality, the reality is that I have a lot of very dedicated haters and people who spend their lives attacking and smearing me. These people have attacked my family members as well. Ethan encourages his fandom to terrorize me and other women by inciting his fans to attack us. It's sick. Ethan will never come on X to try to litigate any of this because he knows he can lie with impunity. Why would you want him to come on? If you're upset with him brigading you and sending his fans to attack you, why on earth would you want him to come to X and basically send his whole audience to you and litigate this? What are you talking about? He posts your stuff onto his story. Ethan will never come to X to try to litigate any of this because he knows he can lie with impunity on IG stories and his dumb fandom won't see responses. It's pitiful. This man is a multimillionaire living in a $10 million mansion and he spends all day harassing and abusing women online. I mean, the amount of time that Ethan's Attic has spent posting about Taylor Loren stuff, I think it is kind of like, I have no reason to believe that it is Taylor Loren's, but I also have no reason to believe that it's not at this point. I hate Taylor so much. I hate that people like her exist and people take them seriously. I don't know how many people take Taylor Loren seriously anymore, which is kind of a good thing. How the fuck is Ethan supposed to control somebody ban evading in the H3 subreddit? But it's funny too because she's not actually like contending with the arguments that even if this person is ban evading and using separate accounts, they are getting downvoted and hated for going on other snarks that's just them not being active on the sub is has very little to do with it. But again, show us the multitude of accounts that have done this and that have all these upvotes smearing you, because I think the only things that are actually upvoted are things that you don't want to post onto Twitter because you know that this is your little hug box that can you can prevent people from smearing you in. It's so stupid. But finally, the Snark mods learn what settlement agreement means in the new filing. So I'm going to just read this fully. 1. Apology video. While Casey Tron's apology video speaks for itself, it also says more about TEI's motivations and intentions for future actions to unmask does. Specifically, it shows TEI is using heavy legal/financial pressure to force its critics to recant, align with TEI, and assist in pursuing others, i.e. does, in exchange for settlement. No reasonable person could view this apology video as a genuine apology as opposed to a capitulation to legal threats, doxing, and harassment. This evidence belies TEI's position that its primary goal with these subpoenas is to combat copyright infringement. That's such a weak argument to really just say, because some of us think that she's stating it under duress and didn't agree to the terms of a settlement. Like, she would be more under duress had she not agreed to the terms of a settlement, no? It just is so it's just so weird. Moreover, in her again, because if you were admitting that she was under duress and at the threat of losing more money, what you are admitting to is that she did commit copyright infringement and that it is no longer a frivolous lawsuit, which would mean that some type of settlement would matter. And yeah, maybe you think the settlement isn't justifiable, whatever, but you are saying that she should have been sued. I bet the judge is going to love to read the new 75 pages. I wonder if this judge is just going to get so pissed off at some point, they're just going to be like, fuck you guys, you lose. Moreover, in her apology video, Casey changes her story. Casey Tron previously stated that she does not believe she committed contributory copyright infringement and knows nothing about the H3 Snark subreddit or its moderators. In her apology video, she states that she did commit copyright infringement, a legal conclusion she is not qualified to make, and that she will help TEI in its case against the H3 Snark mods. All of Casey Tron's statements may thus be used to impeach her credibility in any statement against Doe's. No, it couldn't, because it wasn't under oath, you fucking idiot. Is this actually written by a lawyer? Statements made under oath are exactly that, made under oath. I don't even think the statement she made in the settlement is necessarily under oath. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know if that's maybe she made the state, but I think what she did state is that she was willing to state these things under oath. And again, even if it does conflict with her prior statements about copyright infringement, that is because she was wrong before. She's wrong and she's correcting herself in this statement. Yeah, what kind of lawyer? Like, this is not a typical. I'm so confused. I need to end this poll. I just realized we gotta start a new one in just a minute. That poll ended. Translation implant did win. Everybody wants to talk to animals. Voluntary temperature control. Okay, only some people get that cold, I guess. Swiss Army Hand came in third. Binocular Eyes came in second. 27%. Wow. Gotta see far. I'm assuming that's the people that wear glasses, yeah? At least like maybe a half of that percentage. Yeah, they don't believe anyone could ever change their mind. That's why they don't believe Ethan. Yeah, that's why they... I mean, but Ethan also hasn't changed his mind very much about things. But yeah, on certain things about his edgy past and things like that. Once an edgelord, always an edgelord. I don't know if I need to read all of this. What's this last one? Is this a continuation of that? Any future knowledge Casey suddenly claims to know about Doe's, whether in the Denims lawsuit at issue here or in future requests by TEI for subpoenas, thus creates an inference against her credibility. Why? Casey Tron also makes apologies related to her prior speech, but unrelated to copyright. Casey Tron previously stated that she would not use any of her GFM money for a monetary settlement with Ethan. I think people are forgetting it's a civil case. She broke copyright law. And so the settlement is not necessarily tied entirely to the copyright law. That's why he's able to get the money from like the GoFundMe or like, you know, he could be like in the settlement, I want your car. And if she agreed to it, she agreed to those terms of the settlement. That would obviously be weird terms to ask for in this context, but it's a civil case. And so you're agreeing to whatever you feel like is a justifiable settlement. It's interesting they run the narrative that Ethan wants to harass these women, but if that were the case, wouldn't he ignore the settlement with Casey Tron and keep pushing the charges? No, exactly. Well, because so their claim is that he knows that they're frivolous, and I guess she doesn't know that they're frivolous, even though she claimed that they were frivolous before, and that's why he's willing to settle, but also because he hates women and wants to get as much as possible. I don't know. It really is just, there's too many levels to it that don't make sense. Casey Tron previously stated that she would not use any of her GoFundMe money for a monetary settlement with Ethan. In her actual statement, she promises to hand over to Ethan all of the money for her GoFundMe that she doesn't pay to her attorneys. Casey Tron's apology video is disturbing at best, and the apparent terms of their settlement, based on her statements, show the lawsuits are about 1. Silencing and indeed extorting TEI's critics and TEI's critics' supporters. 2. Obtaining vindication for perceived reputational harms. And 3. Unmasking those whose only actions were to moderate a subreddit critical to of TEI. Come on. Can I zoom in more? No. So sad. It is true that parties were able to agree to settlements of to terms of a settlement that a court would not enforce on its own, including an apology. Short of trial, these parties are free to negotiate the terms of an injunction as they wish. But the content of this particular apology, Casey's delivery while reading it, and the apparent terms of the settlement itself, at best, lend an air of coercion. I do like that this is their phrasing in this. I can't highlight it. At best, lend an air of coercion. That doesn't seem like very concrete evidence. It at best lends an air of coercion. Okay, cool. It makes you feel some type of way. It makes your tummy hurt. Sorry to hear that. Harassing responses. TEI supporters immediately reacted in hateful ways, attacking Casey, praising her downfall and financial ruin, and gleefully heralding the anticipated forthcoming ruination? I feel like that word is so archaic. Who uses the word ruination? The active process of complete destruction, ruin, or downfall. Is that like normal, like legal vernacular? Legal jargon, ruination. Hate messages to Doe's. Even though the H3 Snark subreddit first went inactive in February 2025 and has been completely inactive since May 2025, Doe's received hateful mod mail through Reddit, and TEI fans attempted to post to this H3 Snark subreddit. H3 Instagram stories. H3's Instagram stories about the mediation and thereafter demonstrate TEI's gleeful about their victory and mock Casey's fans who donated to her GoFundMe for essentially donating to TEI. Well, it was something that he said literally in the beginning, so he was just following up with his prior statements. And why shouldn't he be somewhat gleeful? I like about its victory in quotations, because it doesn't want to admit that they won a settlement. They agreed to a settlement that was beneficial to them. What do they deem H3 supporters? That's a good question. That's like the hard-hitting question, I think. Damn it, y'all, I'm so late again. Well, we're happy to have you. Welcome back. Your Honor, Casey would never admit to fault. Your Honor, she didn't want to say those things. TEI's reaction video, it's just also funny because I'm pretty sure it's like none of that stuff, none of like the settlement or the mediation or any of that. I don't think any of that matters in these like future legal cases. What matters is what is going to be done from this point on. And one of those would be her, again, restating that statement under oath. It's crazy because it was settled through mediation, meaning it was an agreement between both parties, not ordered through the court. No, exactly. And they even acknowledged that in saying that no court would agree to these terms. And they did quote, I don't know what this... They... would not enforce settlement on its own. See United States versus Cathcart. So I don't know what this legal precedent is, but... It would be, I guess, interesting to see, but I also, I don't think it is a court's place to make you issue an apology. I think that would be something that you would have to agree to on some level. They can only, give you a punishment of some kind. I don't think that an apology is a punishment. An apology is a form of recompense. But TEI's reaction videos. TEI's reaction to Casey Tron's apology are even more probative of TEI's motives. Ethan repeatedly thanks Casey's GoFundMe contributors for donating him money, then visually shares her now deleted GoFundMe page, and publicly identifies people who donated and to supporting Casey Tron financially in her defense. When TEI publicly celebrates entitlement to money raised by its critics, especially when that money was meant to help a defendant facing ruinous legal costs, well, it is. You're acting as though that it's not doing that in this moment, but that is exactly what it's going to. The people who donated just ended up donating way too much. Because if it would have ended in a settlement, if she had lost the case, she would have still had to pay Ethan whatever amount was left. Like, probably. Because she would have had some kind of, court-mandated payment to make. Your Honor, he celebrated every time that a guy in a courtroom stands. Every time that the judge goes, court dismissed. It's his little gavel, and people scream and go, "Yay! I did it! I didn't get fucking. I am not going to prison for murder." Every time that happens, the judge goes, "You're celebrating too hard. Throw him in the pen." But sorry, I digress. It signals to other potential critics that not only could they be sued, but their supporters could also be targeted and humiliated, silencing speech and criticism. Further, TEI's self-serving prior assertions that it would not dox does, while it publicly names contributors to other defendants' causes, are completely unbelievable. I don't think you understand what dox means. So good job. Good job, lawyer man. Obviously, TEI is free to discuss these lawsuits. They are public. But TEI's behavior here transformed the legal process into a weapon for silencing dissent rather than a neutral tool for protecting rights, leading to self-censorship and discouragement from engaging in protected speech out of fear and similar retaliation. TEI's shows discussing Denims' reaction shows TEI's show discussing Denims' reaction shows TEI is using these lawsuits to exert control over its critics. This evidence shows TEI's message. If you settle and pay TEI to avoid ruination like Casey Tron did, you will be awarded with praise and grace, at least until the next show. If you fight like Denims and Does, you are subject to endless degradation and harassment. Well, you are in opposition. So, of course, he's going to speak about you unkindly. And, of course, once you are no longer opposition, he would say, it's no longer necessary to talk about you as such. He don't speak about me nice enough. He celebrated too hard. He's too mean. I don't like him. Throw him away. TEI's, sorry, I read that part. Denims reaction post. Denims reaction post to Casey Tron's apology is relevant to show that there is absolutely no collusion with Doe's or common intent to infringe. This is crucial for the court's analysis, as given the ominous nature of Casey Tron's statement in her apology that she intends to help TEI in its case against Doe's, Casey Tron, or even Denims, may try to alter her narrative despite her prior statements she did not infringe and did not coordinate with Doe's. It didn't say, I don't think in her statement that she says that she coordinated with you. I think in her statement she said that you promoted her stream, I think was the phrasing that she used. But the other part shows no relevant, is relevant to show that there's absolutely no collusion with Doe's or common intent to infringe. This again would have to be proven like against other evidence. A single statement, a single reaction post made by Denims does not prove anything. Is relevant to show that there is absolutely no collusion. A singular statement, that means nothing. Again, that would be the point of the subpoena, would be to get the actual records of your communications, if there were any. Given the ominous nature of Casey Tron's statement. I missed the beginning of the settlement, or of the segment, but are these statements part of an argument that any of the things Ethan did was illegal? No, not really. I don't know what this is even trying to prove. I guess let's hear this from... Oh, I thought this whole video was 52 minutes. This one's only 9 minutes, don't worry. But this new video from Luss is Ethan Klein versus Denims. Denims is tanking her copyright lawsuit. And then there is an update that I saw that came out from Tony. So we might want to check that out as well. Do we have anything yet? Oh, we do. Oh, wow. Let me throw this poll up. How late will the H3 show start today? Question mark. Sorry, putting a poll up. Oh no. I think this makes more sense now. How late will the H3 show start today? And on time early, since they have this up already, which is kind of surprising. Haven't done that in a minute, guys. But then on time early, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 45 minutes. I think that's probably the best way to start articulating this. Let's start this poll, putting it up now. But yeah, so the stream today is The Right is Self-Imploding. Candace Owens, Tim Pool, Tucker Carlson. And it all is like kind of surrounding Nick Fuentes in a way too. Become a member. We're going to talk about that on Saturday.
Hey guys, so I just saw this from Denims. It is called Ongoing Lawsuit of Denims. Denims Reacts. So she's reacting to her own Twitter post where she actually talks about both statements of copyright infringement that she made. And she talks about her lawyers, peak lawyering. Her lawyers, by the way, are exactly the same lawyers.
I'm sorry, Tony, I got to speed you up just a little bit. I know sometimes it sounds like he's going too fast, but for me, sometimes he's going way too slow.
Not even just the same law firm. That's close enough. But they are exactly the same lawyers that Casey Tron had. The lawyers that suggested that Casey Tron apologized in the way that she apologized. Let me repeat that again. It's the same law firm, the same two lawyers who gave Casey Tron the advice and greenlit the apology. That is who Denims is taking to fight Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein's lawyer...
Sounds like she's got a strong case. You know, she's confident. But to be fair, I would assume that they would probably feel like Denim's case is probably stronger than Casey Tron's purely because of the amount of reaction. I don't know if they necessarily have like the knowledge of the level of reaction that she did, or if they've seen like the full stream that she did or whatever. But I would say that she probably does have a stronger case than Casey Tron.
Is now fighting Nvidia, the trillion-dollar company that supposedly is holding the entire stock market hostage.
I watched the Fuentes Piers video on AB's stream last night. Nick is such a weasel. I'm gonna watch it and then maybe upload it on. So we'll watch it on Saturday and maybe upload it on Sunday or something. But I have a playlist. Let me pull it up. Sorry, a little bit of a side tangent. I have a playlist. If I can pull it up. There we go. Damn, it's got 17 videos in it now. And it's Charlie Kirk versus Hassan Piker debate, Charlie Kirk versus Hassan Piker 2 debate, Destiny and Hassan debate against Nick Fuentes and Sargon of Akkad, Destiny versus Hassan, Destiny versus Nick Fuentes debate, Hassan and Ethan, Nick Fuentes debating race with Sneeko, Abba, Gideon, Young Dawn, I don't know who that is, in Destiny. Nick Fuentes talking about the JQ. Nick Fuentes on Sam Hyde. This is all internet radical stuff that I've been looking into. Tucker Carlson interview with Nick Fuentes. Candace Owens interview with Nick Fuentes. And then I found some really old Nick Fuentes stuff as well. Some kind of like original content that he made when he was first kind of starting off, which kind of shows a little bit more of because it's him speaking directly to his fan base, like in a public setting. So he's being a bit more boisterous in the way that he speaks. And then the Piers Morgan uncensored interview as well. It's horrible stuff, really. And I do think it's interesting how many people are starting to see the connections between Hassan and Nick Fuentes. Because it's interesting, their similarities not just in rhetoric, or I guess not just rhetorical strategies, but also the stances themselves align at times. And it's few stances that they truly align on, like wholly, but when it comes to like their views, and they definitely are more aligned in terms of authoritarianism than Hassan might like to admit. But I digress. Again, we're talking about that on Saturday. Become a member if you'd like to see that. If you're interested. But thank you all to the regular schmegulas that are in here now. So let's continue it. Where were we?
Very interesting company. Maybe we'll make some video about Nvidia in the future. Denims, her logic. So I can read you some crazy stuff, right? Peak lawyering. Peak lawyering is her lawyers telling her not to talk about this on live stream. No lawyer in their right mind would allow their clients to do this. In fact, I would imagine that the better lawyers who have reputational at stake, and don't get me wrong, their reputations are at stake. I covered the Carl Jobs lawyers in great detail, and they did such a horrible job on his case, losing almost a maximal they could possibly lose. His reputation is basically cooked. Everyone knows who his name is. Everyone knows that he did a bad job. I would be shocked if he was able to get another high profile, or that he even would want another high profile case. This is why I believe it will settle. What evidence do I have that it will settle? Well, Casey Tron was going to battle it out. She was collecting donations on the GoFundMe to do what? To battle Ethan Klein, right? And a few days later, she just apologized, and that was the end of that. So Denim's reaction to it is, again, probably 95% of lawyers, upwards of 99% of lawyers, would just be like, please don't talk about it. And specifically, do not talk. She spends a great deal of time, and even in her tweet, I'll just read it to you. Specifically, do not talk about the law as if you understand the law. If you are a non-lawyer, stop.
I mean, that is probably the smartest thing to do, right? If you want to talk about your perspective or whatever on certain topics involved in your case, that's one thing. But to specifically try and express like legal knowledge when you don't have any, I mean, how ignorant can you be? Denims, ignorant? No.
Pretending to be a lawyer. Because judges hate that, right? They hate it. It's like when you go to the doctor and you went on Wikipedia and you check something up, and now you're telling the doctor why you're sick. The doctors hate that. My doctor has a sign saying like, hey, if you want to Google something, next time don't come. So let me read you what he said, and I'll kind of emphasize why this is so wrong. The first statement is my response to a chat message. I read it out loud. Quote, we're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views, end quote. And then replied, this is her reply, quote, yeah, I'm going to stream it. Since he's confirmed it's coming out today, I'm going to stream it, end quote. She later goes on and says, this is basically self-admission. I hope this is self-evident, but it would be bizarre for me to take that opportunity to bring attention to this group of people and how they actually should watch his video on his channel. It is in my place, I don't care, and making a big deal out of it.
It is interesting because the way I described it, I think, is like perfectly. She responded to that quote in the affirmative. She said, yeah. And I think the best way to like explain why that is like why that is like contextually necessary is because like talking, like if anybody's seen the Loner Box versus Chris Kunzler debate. Oh, thank you so much, Rum Tum Tugger, for 1 gifted membership.
Yay, I got a subscriber.
Went to Kelsey. Big ups. I joined a live stream of 2 delightful Dutch ladies crocheting. Got gifted a membership the next day. I hope you go back all the time. You better give those ladies some views. But what I was going to say is, Lonerbox, when debating Chris Kunzler, they were talking, he asked him at one point, what do you think that the Jewish people should have done as opposed to going and creating Israel? And all Chris Kunzler could say is, they shouldn't have gone and created Israel. They shouldn't have imposed themselves onto another people. And it's like, you are not answering in what they should have done. You're only talking about what they shouldn't have done. And if she would have said like, even if she went, no, yeah, I'm reacting. No, yeah, I'm reacting to it. Like if there was just like kind of a hesitance there, but she quite literally says yes. And that's like what Chris Kunzler got away from, is he didn't say they should have. He said they shouldn't have. And it's like, we need the positive. We need an actual proposal. Let us know.
Out of it would only encourage the zealotry that Ethan is upset about. I merely acknowledge.
Captain should read Rum's name out loud more. Rum Tum Tugger. Thank you, Rum Tum Tuggard, for all the gifted memberships. You've given out so many. Truly, my Tuggard benefactor.
I was going to react to it and moved on. Drawing a broader narrative based on a chat message I did not write is delusional. So this is typical. Like I wish Denims has to take the LSAT. This is typical fallacy in LSAT. Any lawyer, any law student, anyone taking the LSATs to get into law school will tell you what the fallacy is. So there are 2 statements here. We're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views. There's no argument. That's a live chat. She read the live chat. Makes sense. The problem is the reply. Yeah. Okay, the reply, yes. Full pause. So if somebody is saying, did you commit copyright infringement? And that was a chat, and you just read the chat, and your response was, yeah.
Yeah, all she had to say was, yes, we're reacting, but this is not a watch party, so visit the original as well. I mean, you don't even have to say that much, because I do agree with her on some level. Like, if you, like, typically would despise the creator that you're reacting to and truly just trying to give, like, a biting, scathing review, a critical, a heavily critical commentary, it wouldn't be necessary to be like, go make sure you watch and like the original. But what you need to do is address the fact that you're not doing this to siphon away views. You're doing this because you're trying to actually draw criticism. And like the whole thing too is just reading that comment. It was just so stupid. It was somebody else's comment. So it was somebody else. Somebody else deemed it true. It's like, come on. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I did. Wouldn't that be a mission of guilt? Yeah, it is. So by responding, yeah, that's enough. Right? That's your response. You're not at that point. You're not reading chat anymore. So there's a confusion over what the problem is. The problem is not the chat. The problem is the response to the chat. If somebody chatted, "Hey, are we committing copyright infringement against Ethan tonight?" and you said, "Yeah," that would be it. Now the question is, what does this mean? We're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views. I think it's a pretty obvious meaning that we're going to watch you so we don't have to watch Ethan. Otherwise, they would have to give the nuke views. If you did not, let's take the double negative. If you did not stay live, we would have to watch Ethan. That's essentially the logic behind that. Now, the second one is, in my opinion, just as bad, if not worse, right? So let's take a look at the second one. So, I don't want to take this right now. The second statement is a throwaway shill comment I said after the video before signing off. Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. Now, when she re-uploaded her stream, that part was missing because she understood how bad that particular part is. Probably the first statement she didn't realize was bad until her attorneys told her how bad it was. The second statement, any sane person, non-lawyer, can figure out that's very bad to say. Let me repeat it again. Well, guys, if you enjoy not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. As an aside, that statement is factual. Almost certainly, if someone watched my coverage, they have no interest in watching Ethan's video. No, your first statement contradicts that. When you said, yeah. So you
She doesn't know what shill means. I was kind of confused as to what she means, but I also can't think of what word she's trying to think of. Because, like, what could she be, like, what word could she be trying, like, could she be misremembering and saying shill instead? Because at first I was like, does she mean shrill? But, like, that doesn't make any sense either. Yeah, I don't know.
You already know, because that happened, the timeline of what's happening is they don't want to watch Ethan's video, but they want to know what it's about, so they're going to watch your.
I had a friend, or I have a friend, and for a long time he used to say, let's go squander around. And I was like, I don't want to squander. I want to utilize my time appropriately.
Her video. You already know that from the first statement. Her lawyers need to get her under control because she is a non-lawyer messing with legal fact. And even
she's saying she's a shill for Amazon is the only way I can understand it. Like, I'm forced to talk about primes on Amazon, therefore I'm a shill. Oh. I guess that would make more sense, but that's still just like a weird phrasing, I guess. It would at least make sense if that's what she meant.
When she's saying it's factual, they have no interest. When people use extreme words, how do you know 100% of the people watching your video have no interest in watching Ethan Klein's video? Did you talk to them? Do you have any proof? Do you have documentation? No, because you have no idea how many people are watching your video. And a judge is going to tear this apart. It just doesn't. At most, you can say this is a mean-spirited comment in poor taste. Making a joke like this is too far, and that Ethan Klein deserves more respect. We can agree to disagree. So here, again, we have a statement literally asking, so throw a prime is asking for money. What has this all been about for Denims? The GoFundMe, the multiple GoFundMes? Money. It's always been about money to Denims, and a judge is going to see this.
Yes, I will wander or skedaddle, but never squander.
Hey guys, we get a...
His voice does sound like he's getting slightly better every day. One day he'll be back at 100. What did Lust sound like before he got sick? Let's get a taste of it.
So, still no update on the Frogan case.
Maybe he is better now. He just has a little bit of a and no offense, he does just have a little bit of a frogginess to his throat, I guess. To his speaking pattern.
Hey guys, we get a massive update to the...
He's still got a little bit in there. Heal up. Angels on your body. To JH and to Tony.
Free Snark, whether or not they're going to be unmasked. This update follows Casey Tron's apology and then Denims' statement on Casey Tron's apology. So this is recent stuff. It's probably a day or two ago. Now, before I begin, I have no idea what type of lawyer would accept this case. The lawyer files another declaration. Attachment 1, declaration of Leia Rosa Vulik, and that declaration is another 63 pages. Yes, I'm not joking here. It's 63. I do not understand what the strategy is other than to anger the court and cost Ethan Klein a lot of money. Maybe that is a long-term strategy. They just hope Ethan runs out of money to sue them. The H3 Snark, they're treating the legal court as if it was a subreddit, where the more you post, the more upvotes you get, and then they're...
I don't think anybody's... Maybe some people have said that. I've never thought about it like that. That's so true. They're just treating the legal system like a Snark subreddit. They just keep flooding it with things, hoping that it will overwhelm the people trying to go through it. When it's like all you're doing is just prolonging, like you're giving yourself more time, I guess. But you're also giving them more evidence in a sense.
Therefore, the more legitimate you are. That's not how it works legally. Legally, you don't want a million different arguments. You want one or two really solid arguments, and that's what you go to battle with. But in H3 Snark and Reddit, they found one of probably the only lawyers, again, this is a lawyer not trained in law school, that is willing to participate in what seems to be like a deluge of irrelevant and unnecessary documents. Here you have the Casey Tron's apology video, the reaction, and then Denims' reaction. Is any of this relevant to contributory copyright infringement? No. Various other reactions, and Denims' reaction to the apology video, which we covered yesterday. So these are the 5 things they want to introduce. Now, they're not just going to introduce like the video. They're going to introduce 63 pages with video links, with citations, with mega threads. This is the supplemental evidence. Remember, they've already made 1,000 pages. They've already submitted 1,000+ pages of evidence. And now they're submitting another 63 pages because of the cases. So the question really becomes, just as I'm making videos about this almost every day.
Oh, I think there's our peak concurrent viewers in right now. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. They like jumped up randomly. Wow, there's a bunch of people in here right now. Remember to vote on the poll if you haven't already too. How late are they going to start today? I'll never know.
If something happens with Frogan, then do they have to submit another 63 pages of supplemental material? And the answer would probably be yes. This is nonsense. I mean, like, imagine you are a judge, man. Like, what is going on with this case? Imagine you're a lawyer on the other side, and you have to respond to all of this nonsense, because you do have to read it. The judge has to read it. The lawyers have to read it. Like, why would you, like, how is this relevant to contributory copyright infringement? Right? Like, the question here is, does Ethan Klein have a case against H3 Snark for contributory copyright infringement? And if he does have a case, then we will have to reveal your names. Their argument is focused on a nonsensical argument, because their argument is based on, oh, it's going to affect my life. Well, you should have thought about that before you did contributory copyright infringement. I don't see like why a lawyer would go with this other than billable hours. But according to the Does themselves, they're not like super wealthy people. Another really interesting side note is they never talk about their kids, so I don't think most of them have kids, if any of them have kids at all. This is very disturbing to me that this is continuing on, because supplemental information, I get it, something new has happened. It's not 63 pages. It's not even 6 pages. It's like, oh, this happened. It's just facts. Okay? And so, like, I can understand supplemental, be like, oh, Casey Tron settled with Ethan Klein. We want you to know that. That's it. The utter harassment, the legal and financial pressure to force his critics to recant a line. Does this sound like it should belong in a copyright case? There is an element where the subpoena, that they're obviously fighting over a subpoena right now to disclose their names, but
No, yeah, it's like they're making a moral, like, kind of like a moral argument in a legal case. Isn't that mean? Isn't that fucked up that he's doing that? It's like you can't defame his character to a judge. That's not really how it works.
I'll put it this way. And I've always said this too. My name isn't Tony Esquire. My name is Tony Gore. I put my name out there. I put my LinkedIn. I put all my social media out there. That's what the legal system requires. You guys are the ones who chose to be anonymous, right? Anonymous people have to be unmasked so you can sue them. You just can't sue. Like, if you were to sue Jane Doe, how are you going to collect the money?
I've been scamming people online underneath an anonymous username. I deserve to remain anonymous. Obviously, there's limitations to your anonymity, as there should be.
How are you going to go to prison? Like, how would any of these consequences that result from legal action be applied to you when no one knows who you are, where you live? Like, no one can collect from you. So I think they have a massive misunderstanding, and this is kind of the snark brain, I guess, that Ethan talks about. The first misunderstanding is they think the more material they make public, the more likely they will win. So instead of having 1 or 2 good arguments, they want 1,000 or 2,000 arguments. Argument 2,000 being, in this history book, the Palestinian state was cited as a real state or as a fake state. Or, you know, it gets to the point where the judge has to think this is a joke. And I'm sure the judge is going to ask their lawyer, hey, like, why are you doing this to me? What's going on here? Like, why are you letting them do this? Like I said, judges like...
The lawyer is raking it in before losing. Good for them. Yeah, they're just like... I mean, honestly, their legal counsel might be trying to help direct them, and then if they're just being... like, difficult, I mean, there does probably become a point where they just say, okay, we'll help you with whatever you need, sure. Okay, that's the argument you want to make? Fine. If that's the argument you want to make, that's the argument we're making. Okay. Like, win or lose, they just want to get paid.
Cases that can be simplified. The more simple, and this is the same thing in law school. Like, I know their lawyer didn't go to law school, but let me give you a free law school. Like, every single law school class is the same. You read a case, it maybe the case is 5, 6, sometimes 10, 12 pages. You summarize it in a paragraph, and you put it in your outline, and you move on. So every day before class, you read 2 or 3 cases, and then you summarize it in a few bullet points of what the point of the case was, and then you put it in your outline, and you repeat and rinse for a semester, 2 semesters, and that's what you do. I am absolutely appalled by the length and also the content. So I'm not saying everyone who doesn't go to law school and becomes a lawyer is a bad lawyer. I'm saying this particular individual is acting like...
I'm not saying everyone's a bad lawyer. I'm saying this guy is a bad lawyer. This person is not a good lawyer. They hired the worst lawyer possibly.
Like a snarker, like acting like this is not how you act in a professional capacity. In my person,
they can snark me. No one can say anything is bad. Anything to me is bad is what I've thought about myself. Don't worry, Madman. See, I'm hoping for the sweet snarkers to come. That's why my comment sections are now working again. Once the snarkers come, ooh, mwah. That's where the ad money comes from. all of you regular viewers, you're all beautiful, you're all meaningful. You all matter to me the most. But those snarkers, that's where the viewership comes from. I'm just kidding. Honestly, I don't think it actually helps that much because I think they probably just click on videos just to comment and then click away. There's probably like 0 retention time.
No opinion. Now, of course, they talk about Denims reaction. So this is even so if we're talking about Caseytron. Caseytron has nothing to do with this particular issue because this is an issue stemming from Denims. I could see the argument of what Denims' response was, but I don't really see the argument as to why Caseytron's apology directly has anything to do with this case. I also don't see the argument.
What a BPU or BP Ultimate H3 clips. Hey chat, sorry Cap, I just subbed and had to wait out the longest 5 minutes ever to chat. Good to see everyone. Sorry, I do have that as it's like a Snark buffer. People get we lost a subscriber. We're going up and down on subscribers. I just saw it on the preview window, but we're going up and down. It's okay. We're up from earlier. I think we're up 2 from earlier. If I lose subscribers, it happens. But thank you for stopping in. I do appreciate it. That is like a Snark buffer. You know, I'd hope that 5 minutes of me yammering would get them to click away before they'd want to stay to chat. You'd be surprised though. We've gotten a few to come in. It does happen.
Where we need somebody reacting. We need Ethan's reaction to the ball. That's a totally different, separate lawsuit. And let me put it this way. It's in a completely different state. So you're telling the California state, look at what's happening here in Missouri. Well, they're not going to like that. I mean, in terms of apologies, the Frogan's apology would be more... Again, I'm not saying any of these are relevant, but I'm saying Frogan's would be more relevant because they would at least be in the same court system. Bizarre. Super bizarre, I think. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
So true. Love the work, Tony. Keep it up. Great stuff indeed. Now let me take a second. Oh no. What do I have to showcase? This archive isn't that good. One sec. We're gonna go through one of my archives real quick. Actually, this is kind of just a banger. I don't know if I played this on stream. I genuinely don't know. Thank you so much, Beppis, for the 1 Captain Quasar gifted membership. Thank you for the gifted.
Yay, I got a subscriber.
Thank you for the gifted. Please play Diddy Blood Einstein.
Who is this man on the calculator?
Do you guys know about Hoopify? I actually really dislike Hoopify. He was for a while. All he was doing was talking about the Rizzler and Baby Gronk. Where's one with Hoopify's face? Is he in any of these?
Who is this superhero that is blowing air? This is Homelander, and he's going viral for his iconic Homelander blow.
I hate Hoopify so much. Diddy Blood Einstein. Diddy Blood Einstein song.
What is this Diddy Blood doing on the calculator? Is Blood Einstein?
That's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good song. Cringe brain rot chills. Yeah, Hoopify has that he has like the chills cadence. Like literally chills. You remember? Burger King foot lettuce? That's chills, right?
Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce.
Who is this man on the calculator?
Woo! Ah! OMG, getting an overly filled bowl of boiling hot soup up 2 flights of dark stairs ended up being such a workout. I'm exhausted. Well, now you get to enjoy your soup, right? He is just stealing the chills voice. You're so right. How could he do this? I saw a video of him doing an actual, like, he was on like I think he was on the red carpet at the Streamer Awards. Wait, let me see if I can look up. I just have Diddy Blood Einstein on the screen. Hoopify Streamer Awards. I'm pretty sure there were people like, who? Who are you? Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it. I saw a clip of him like trying to interview people, and they're like, "Do you know Hoopify?"
All right, guys. I'm here at the Streamer Awards right now. Look, you can see Ronaldo right there. He's doing red carpet stuff too. But so many people are coming through. Kai's coming through, Speed's coming through, Rakai's coming through. Like literally any stream you could think of, they're coming through. So I'm super excited.
Where's the clip where they don't know him?
Guys, tomorrow for Hoopify, would you rather see a video about SD Kid or Triple T?
YouTube,
I think
what are
there's
you
more
doing?
lore behind Triple T. Can someone please explain to me why SD Kid is a meme now?
What the hell just happened? YouTube is tweaking.
Are you familiar with Hoopify? Like I talk like this on the internet.
Having to do that is so funny. Do you know who Hoopify is? I talk like this on the internet.
No. Okay. Are you familiar?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to
And we've started. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be back tomorrow doing actually just a simple gaming stream, but it'll be a chatting stream. So feel free to come in, ask me questions. We'll talk about different stuff, have some fun. I'm thinking I'm going to be playing some PS2 games. That's kind of my go-to. Some old school PS2, some nostalgia stuff for the month of December. It is the holiday season. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment down below or whatever if you're watching this later. But again, thank you so much. This is Cap and Quasar signing off.